Well, I'm recording this on um, Zoom, and I'm also going to try to see if I can live stream to just double up our efforts to reach more
You have a
people.
Canva if you want to.
Oh, hang on a second. There. Oh, yes, I do have a Canva, and I'm going to share that right now. So, welcome to this Ask Anything Gardening for September. Um, Let me see if I can pull up my Canva. How are your gardens? That would be a great question to ask anybody who's online right now, because our gardens are they're not overgrown anymore because we weeded them, right, Dave?
Yeah, this is the time of the year you can get a little uh beleaguered because um you've been battling the bugs and the animals all summer, and you've been carefully nurturing your plants, trying to get uh a prime harvest because I've tracked my harvest for the last 10 years. And there's definitely for temperate climate, there's a big spike that starts in about the beginning of August and goes till October. And during that 2 month period, we'll tend to get more than, I'd say probably more harvest than you get the rest of the year combined.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, we're not going to go through all of this because I think this was last month's, but the events for the GIY members are all about preserving the harvest. And I think that's the theme of this Ask Anything Gardening is just to go through the different ways that we preserve the harvest. I mean, as the harvests are coming on, not to take for granted that they're just going to be there forever because they won't. Um, and we are not having the harvest raffle this year, but we do have, we do have these tips for fall. That was last month. So this month is a few couple of themes is also we usually will talk about or post about seeds and saving your seeds as well as your harvest. So here are the seeds that we would be saving, and that's actually, would you say you could grow these right now, Dave?
Yeah, so walking onions usually purchase the bulbs. They deliver them in the fall.
Hmm.
So a lot of places will still have them. You can, if you're like, oh, where do I get walking onions? You can order them from online vendors. So a couple recommendations would be So True Seeds, which is in North Carolina, or uh, I think mainpotatolady.com.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
there's somebody,
yeah, I did. Yes, welcome, Wilma. And I think what are walking onions first? And I think I actually have one walking onion outside the door that I was going to share. Why are they better than normal onions, or are they better or not, or why would you grow them?
so they're also called Egyptian onions. They're basically tall perennial onions that grow about 2 feet tall, and then it's they'll get a little bulblet at the end of their stalk, and they're called walking onions because it's quite heavy, and that the weight of that bulblet at the end of the stalk will actually bend over the stalk and replant the onion. So it's most onions have their bulbs underneath, but this plant has it at the top, and it kind of
Fall
replants
down.
itself.
So is this a walking onion? Oops, the bulblet just fell. It had a big bulb here.
I
And then,
can't see it from your.
oh, sorry. It's the one by the door. I can't see if I'm, well, the
So
bulb
you
fell.
can tell the big difference is you'll see multiple little bulbs. It won't just be one bulb.
Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, like the one in the picture earlier. Hi, Wilma. How are you doing? How's your garden or farm? Kind of big. I don't.
Garden. Hi. How are you guys doing? I know I haven't seen you in a while, but I hear from you.
Yeah, we've been busy and we're trying to focus our efforts a lot on actual farming, which is microgreens for us, and
Mm.
sage that Dave is working on in the background, and a lot of
Backing kids up for college, so that was
Oh,
a
that
been
for
there, done
college
that.
and homeschool and in
Wow.
in the garden sense, like really doing a lot of garden projects. So
Well, it's that time of year for sure. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it's been really busy.
How have
Um,
yeah, how's your garden been doing?
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, like I am continuing to learn something every day. Right now, I'm in a sawfly epidemic on my cherry trees.
Oh
And
dear.
never even heard of the thing before. It's not really a fly, it's in the ant and wasp family. And the leaf slug that's on the leaves is not a slug.
Oh
But
wow.
I do have a whole plan, and we're progressing to minimize, the damage going forward. But um, we had the leaf curl. Yeah, it's just
Well.
it's kind of like if I could, one lesson that I have learned is like I would go out in the morning and after I've had my coffee and messed around a little bit. And then I would go out and do a bunch of stuff. I would harvest, I would prune, I would feed, I would weed, right? Look at them. But I realized I need one focus.
Oh, sorry.
I need one focus at a time.
Mhm.
And I've realized that because what happens is like I'll be looking at stuff and I get sidetracked to, oh, that needs pruning or oh, that needs harvesting. And then I lose my focus on really looking at like what's going on.
Mhm.
And so I was really proud of myself that I caught powdery mildew. So
really, I mean,
before in my little garden, I remember going down the stairs from my house to the where I had the like boxes in front, on this near the street. And I looked at the zucchini there. This was last summer. And I was just like, oh my God, it's all dead. It's all white. Like all the leaves were white and folded over, right? And I just started frantically cutting. Well, nothing came back after that. But this time I caught like little spots.
Mhm.
And so I did trim leaves that had it more, and I've been spraying with like a soapy baking soda water. So that is the kind of thing that I need to be able to do more often. Like I should have seen these leaf, like I just kept saying, oh, look at the cherry tree. It's so dry. It needs water. I never really looked closely at it. And the same with the leaf curl on the peach tree. It was totally red and bumpy and the leaf, I mean, by the time we got rid of all the diseased leaves, it was like almost no leaves on
Yeah,
it.
you
And it's
you
like,
hit
how did
it.
you not
Yeah.
see that coming?
You
Yeah,
you hit a good point there because, well, first of all, don't be too hard on yourself because it is a
I'm
big
learning.
garden. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's a lot for two people or one person. And the second is like one of the things that we are always, trying to remind ourselves as well is that, we say it takes 15 minutes to garden, 7 out of those 15 minutes are spent observing. And that is, that is, I would have to say, I have to keep reminding myself to do that because I'm more of a productivity person.
Mhm.
I have to go out there and I have to weed this bed and then the next day this bed and so on and so forth. But just the wonder that's where the magic comes is in the observing is yes, sometimes you will find those coming, the early signs of disease or insect infestation or whatnot. But I think what's the magic of it is seeing the butterflies, or like Dave will have a hummingbird, he'll be in his bee suit and the hummingbird doesn't think he's a person if he's in a bee suit and just and somehow
I think
An
um
we have,
alien, maybe.
well, I think we have hummingbirds that live on our property, so they've kind of got used to us. So
Oh,
they'll actually sit there on our trellis and watch
oh,
us.
that's where mine sits too. On the like on the little, I have a string with some rope for the tomatoes. And yeah, and they'll just sit there. But if I get too close, obviously. But
Yeah, yeah. But
I mean, that observing is fun. And yeah, but the whole like just going through first time and looking and inspecting. Like I planted some fall crops and we can I would love to and the onion thing. I was just talking to a friend about the onion and I had looked it up to see what it was because it sounded like something that would be great to I think plant now. I'm not sure, but yeah, my broccoli and my kale got devoured by those silly little white moth, the
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
caterpillars. And I almost just gave up and, I picked up some of that white cloth and it's like, okay, I'm just going to reseed and cover it with a cloth this time.
Yeah.
But staying on top of like picking off the caterpillars, spraying with I think it's like soap and neem, a little bit of neem
Mhm.
oil in water and has helped. Like it looks like they're growing again, but they did
Yeah.
just devour some to the ground.
Mhm. I have that problem too, and they're all pockmarked, and I mean
Yeah.
I can only do so much to remove that so that the plant can focus on growing new leaves. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't even have the spray on. I probably have it in the back here in this back room, but I only have so much time, right? So I'm already out there and I see that and I cover it. And the one thing that I do is I'm going to cover it and I'm just going to hope this. I want to observe too, like what is the least amount of work that I need to do? Can this thing grow in the fall without me? Because then the bugs die off because that's what we notice is the bugs we have better success in those brassica with the brassica greens in the fall than in the spring summer because the bugs die off and but we're different than you because our climate is a little bit longer, is
No,
warm.
I think that's a good point, is what you're trying to do is
Yeah.
not work harder.
Yeah.
The point of the observing is not just to like catch things early. It's to see like there's certain things that in your climate the bugs don't touch at all and can be more successful. And then if you observe those things, then gradually you eventually that's all you're growing. It's the things that none of the bugs touch. And then
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
wow, it's so easy and look at all of this. And
Yeah.
it takes a while to see what they attack and what's going on. The soil can make a big difference.
Well, and that's where the garden journal should have come into play. But every time I was out in the garden, it's like, oh, I got to make note of this. And I just never started one. And yeah. And I mean, the other thing is like next season, I will put like that little cloth. I mean, it's not hard. They're in a garden bed. I just plant the seeds, put the cloth over it, and you can water over it and everything.
Yes.
And I'm also picking up some PVC like pipes to do a bigger, like that was an issue in springtime when it was still cold,
Hmm.
and that would help. But yeah, I mean, learning those things and either making that decision of, okay, I'm not growing this anymore, or I know what to do to grow it more successfully. So
Yeah. So
like I
what
love, yeah.
so what these calls are for is just to help you along to clarify like one step for one big decision like that for the month that you're before you come on again next month and tell us how your garden's doing. This is the one thing that we can hold you accountable to. And so if there's
My
something.
observing,
Hmm?
my observing maybe,
Yes, yes. And whether that
and
is,
writing down. Oh,
yes. And whether that it's hard for me too. I mean, Dave and I have this planner, this like specific planner that we
hmm.
like because it has a lot of space after you put in your schedule on the hand side to just kind of write anything you want. Um, and so that kind of forces me at least to write something. But if anything, if you do have a paper planner or something beside your bedside table right before you go to bed.
My
I
my
would love
son
a
also
planner.
started. My son this summer started as he's getting a senior this year. He started working on a mobile app, a mobile portion for recording observations in Sage. So
Um,
I, Nikki doesn't want to mention anything because it's
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 not there yet.
well, yeah. I mean, plus he's got school and everything, but he made quite a lot of progress in terms of taking photographs. But we want to hook that into also being able to take notes. Like this day I saw 50 cabbage
Yeah.
worms, whatever, and kind of tie that into your own personal knowledge store that you can
Mm.
ask questions. Nowadays with ChatGPT, you can set up your own personal knowledge thing. So you could have it say, should I grow this anymore or should I give up? Kind of thing.
Yeah. And yeah.
Or
I,
or
I don't know. There is an app out there I use for just plant detection.
mm-hmm. Is it PlantNet? What do you use?
No, let me just see what it is called for sure. It is called Picture This.
Picture this. Okay.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason I have my phone on me at times is so that when I'm walking around, I can find it. And but I don't use that part of capturing information as much. And they don't have what you're saying, which is like pulling together your own knowledge. Like, should I plant this? No, you've got too many of these in your garden already, or, you know. So I
Yeah.
mean, that's a great idea, but I would love a recommendation of this journal if it
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're not, oh,
I know you're not selling, you're not
we're not selling it,
affiliated.
but it's called the Full Focus Planner.
Full
It's
focus.
it's a little pricey, but
Ooh.
I have to say,
Makes you feel guilty if you don't use it then.
that's it. But I have to say, I got Dave on it. He uses it more than me sometimes, and I thought I was like really good at using it. And then our children,
Well, I
he-
used to be totally online planning, and then there's times you just don't want to be on a computer.
Right, right. I know. That's kind of like, I told you I was using the Mother Earth garden planner,
yes,
and
yeah.
I just haven't kept up with, like, as my crops have changed, and I haven't been putting any notes in.
Yeah, so this is called the full focus planner, and
Okay.
it's just to help you like zero in on what is
Wow,
important.
it is expensive.
We
Yes,
don't just use it for gardening. It's
we use
for
it for our whole life, like
Oh,
every
no.
business, and it just zero in. It helps you like zero in on what is your like goal for what are your goals for the quarter, and as a family
might
we
be overkill for
Yeah, I'm so done with that. I have no goals.
but it
Like,
could just be like, yeah, so let's say there
I
are
used to
some
use a
like,
day timer
yeah, the daytimer, right? Like Stephen Covey, things like that. I've gone
with
through so
work
many.
at work.
But
Yeah, no, I'm
you know
done with
what? I have some like free planning sheets that I just print out, or I've seen them on
it.
online, like just Google Sheets of like the day, and then it's similar to the daily pages. I
I
can
could
link.
have Chat GPT create one for me, no doubt.
Yes, you could, and I mean, you can look at the pictures online and see what is. I mean, short of.
Okay.
And
Okay.
honestly, I mean, to be fair, if anybody listens to this, to be fair, like we really love this planner that we think it's worth it because we have held ourselves accountable to so many different
Hmm.
because of it. But we understand like the price is really outrageous. So I mean, for our littler kids, we just print out worksheets that are um, the the day, your big three. What are your big three for the day? What are the big, three things that you really have to get done for the day? And that's how we come to like when we chat with you all at GIY, we try to hold you accountable at least a big one that
Hmm.
is for the garden, that is like garden based. And then the big three for us, the big three for each day has to do with our bigger, our efforts for like the quarter, the year, what is the things that we wanted to
Hmm.
get done. And sometimes those are like a little deeper, but all these little baby
Yeah.
steps feed up to um
Yeah. I guess I'm looking more for just a journal
yes, a
that
garden
I can go back to
yeah,
and
I've been
remember.
yes. I have been looking for a good one for gardening paper journaling as well.
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, I haven't really found one that's I like. But if you
Yeah.
find one, let me know. But you could just make one yourself, you know?
Yeah, I know there's something about journals like when they look nice,
Yes.
they're easier to use. But I mean, the nice thing about having, when you do have the software like where you can record, of course, when anything's digital, then you can search and
Yeah.
That's the big
use
thing with
the
the
data.
journaling because I mean that you might look through it on paper, uh, kind of like in a sentimental way, but it's going to be hard to like extract really useful information. If you're really detailed
Yeah.
about your journaling, you're going to have hundreds of records and you're going to be like, okay, I know I put this somewhere in the journal. Where did I put
Right.
So how do we balance this? I know also, here's another idea, Wilma, and we're just throwing ideas out here. You have to find what works for you. But I love following this botanical artist. Now I can't remember her name, escapes me, but she has a garden journal. So it's basically like blank paper, and she encourages you to regularly um, draw something from your garden. So it's like a snapshot of your garden once a week. So you can't capture everything, every day, but it's like
That's
she was
very
so,
creative.
yes, and then that is something beautiful to look through the months, like one month, one image that came from the garden, or several if as
Isn't
time.
that what photos are for?
So that's another thing, right? So then I don't know what picture this does, but my app called for plant identification is called PlantNet. And
Mm,
whenever I snap a picture to identify, it saves it to my camera. And
mm,
then I save my all my photos can be I have an Amazon Prime account. So all my photos can be saved on the Amazon Photos. And so I have
mm.
photos from 2015 of my garden there. It's just arranged very simply, like by date. So it's
Hmm.
one big scroll, including my kids, including birthdays and all that other stuff, all mixed into it. But if I do look through it, I can find, if I do take that time, I can find like what happened in August of 2023.
Oh, that's really interesting. I never actually thought about using the app for the garden. I only use it for all the plants around the property. But I could do that. I could take a picture of each and it keeps the date. Doesn't go on my camera roll, but it goes in the app itself.
Oh, the app for plant,
I mean, I could put it in my camera, but yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Yeah. So
I don't
just
know if
so
it would recognize anything because I think that's what it's, developed.
and picture this.
Yeah, I have to see zucchini plants and
Hmm.
because all of the berries always come up as like a blackberry.
Oh, I
When I
see. Yeah.
did,
So in the PlantNet app, it's super specific, and but
mm,
there's percentages, like it'll say it's 55% sure that it's
ah,
this kind of berry.
oh,
And so
I'll have to
you
look
either
at
have to confirm it or not. And I can never confirm, like you're asking me.
Right,
But
that's why I'm asking you. Yeah.
yes, but it's like a consensus of all the pictures that have been sent
Mm.
in. And that's how they can tell, like it's 55% sure based on other people who have sent the pictures. That's
Right.
that's why. And then it's specific to a, variety or whatnot.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, but it could just be like a simple, like simplify it even more with whatever you have. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be as detailed perhaps as we want it to be initially, and maybe not as frequent as we want it perhaps. But and if the
Yeah.
community at all is an accountability, that's what the monthly check-ins, like people will post, this is my garden for the month of September, and
Mhm.
then you'll see all their highlights of the garden, and before they come see us, they'll have that ready. So
Ah, okay.
that could be another way to be accountable.
Yeah.
So before you come see us next time,
Next time I'll put some
yeah,
pictures.
some
Okay.
pictures out.
But I think a good like goal for me for next time is to like
Of-
write down some, however,
Yeah.
capture observations that are going to help me next year. And I'll try and remember what I can from May.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so that's the big thing. We've just learned so much. Like I've learned not to plant my tomatoes against the fence, even though they were a bit apart. They're just too hard. I also learned I watched a lot of YouTubes and stuff on growing tomatoes because growing big tomatoes here is kind of hard given the summers in the Pacific
Yes.
Northwest.
Yes.
But, they're like, stop pruning by picking the V, the growth
Yes.
in the V of the branch
Uh-huh.
in indeterminate. And so, okay, I didn't. And now, I mean, every day I'm
Yeah.
picking new growth off.
Yes.
Um, just because I'm trying to force all the energy into ripening,
Yeah.
whatever's there. But there's just so much growth that I
Oh,
think there's a balance between not pruning.
yes.
I
Yes.
kind of,
And
yeah,
Yeah, I
just
think the tomatoes, who's the guy at the Mother
so
of the
Bevan Cohen, we will meet
Seven
him
Code?
next weekend, actually,
huh.
live.
So his tips,
Are
maybe like
amazing.
3 years ago, we got tips on tomatoes, and since then, so for me the biggest tips are uh, you don't have to wait for it to ripen on the plant.
Yes, I learned that. Phase 3 or whatever,
Yeah, you can get way more production if you pick it
right?
while
Who
it's
knew?
still green, kind of thing. Uh, and then another thing is just making sure that there's no leaves below a foot, because then as soon as it rains, you get fungal diseases from the soil. So you want to clear. Initially you're like, oh, but that's like most of the plant, but
I know it was
pretty
hard.
pretty resilient.
But
So
they kept coming like I did. I started and I buried it. Like I cut a bunch off and I buried it really deep.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Um,
trenching. Yeah,
yeah. And oh yeah, because we talked about that because they were all leggy. And so
yeah,
that did great. But what I found is over time, it's like they kept having more leaves on the bottom. And
Yeah.
it's like, but I thought I pruned all that. I-
I
yeah.
think also there's so many tomato varieties, and some of them tend to be more suckering than others.
Mm.
That's where it's like an observing thing. Is I've just after so many years, like you have to experiment with 4 or 5 tomato varieties a year, just until you find the ones that work well in your climate. And after so many years of like terrible tomatoes, I found the ones that do perfectly. So
Ah, nice.
And there are specific ones to the Pacific Northwest. Once upon a time, I knew that because we did go to Oregon and then we went to a place and like, what is the variety that you
Yeah.
have here that's so prolific? But I'll have to dig that up from like when we went on a cross-country trip, Dave, 2019. Um,
Well, we have this little farm stand or like farmers market on Sundays in the nearby town.
uh-huh.
And they have a tomato tasting this Sunday. And so we're going to that because these are all locally grown tomatoes. And I said, let's
Hey,
make sure we go so we can like pick a
yes.
couple of varieties and talk to them about it.
yeah, it
Ask
saves
them
so
which,
much effort in terms of experimentation.
ask
Yeah.
them
And
which.
look at this.
Oh, a strawberry.
So it's the second,
It's a
fruiting.
second crop for you.
Oh, you got
Wow.
day neutral and
They're like ever, they're
yeah.
Wow.
Ours don't do that. It's
We
so
don't
weird.
have that. Like we have
We have
raspberry
our varieties are day neutral, but then
and our varieties come from you guys from Washington State.
oh,
Mary's Peak and Seascape. Those are
yeah.
hmm.
those are your varieties.
Oh,
Yeah, so that
yeah, no, they have,
happened.
I did 3 beds, 2.5 beds of strawberries, and I like on one bed I cut every little what are the
The
babies,
runners.
the
Yeah.
runners, and I also cut a lot of the flowers that were starting, and then another one I didn't. And I was just trying to see, and it is interesting, and it doesn't seem related to what I did to them, but some are like vibrantly green, some kind of turned a little more yellow. And I do cut off all the, like some of the leaves turn reddish.
Hmm.
I cut them off, have not read about it, just seems like they weren't very healthy anymore.
Yeah, it's good because then it's not putting your energy into trying to keep
Yeah.
that alive. Yeah.
And I did read something about the runner. So I went out. It's like, I probably shouldn't be so reactive to things, but I went out and I looked at all the plants and the runners, and if it had like a nice, healthy uh, baby starting where I wanted it to start, but it wasn't rooted, I put a little like garden staple
Uh,
down and kept it watered. And if it was rooted, I just cut it. And if it wasn't where I wanted, I just removed it. And so, some of them, most of them survived, but it is the first year I started with the root, the bare root.
wow.
Yeah. And so
That's
they've done really well. And the berries have, I just went through like in our berry area where I planted new boysenberry, marionberry, and blackberry.
hmm.
Um, the ground was just green with freaking
Wow.
crawling. And so I went out and I staked like all the new growth either up or onto the fence.
Uh-huh.
And in a couple of them, I planted them down
Uh-huh.
like into the ground. So hopefully I can like
You can propagate them next
Oh
year.
my God, though, it's just, yeah. Yeah, it was crazy how those things just ran amok. And then I got a Loganberry.
Well, you guys are like the land of berries.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
when you talk about it, like what David was saying is those seem to do well here. Maybe you should
Yes,
just
that is your cash crop, Wilma. That is your cash crop right
Yeah,
there.
like I prefer blackberries, but we got this weird raspberry variety that's insane. Like
uh
it bears 2 seasons, so it's starting its second
oh
season.
yeah.
So that's
And
the
it's
ability of
from one plant, I've got maybe like 100 offshoots from it. And yeah, it's just crazy. And I'm not that big on raspberries, but if it's
they're
gonna do
yummy.
well, then
They're
Yeah,
actually yummy and they're so expensive. You know, berries
right.
where we are at least. I don't know about you because you
They're
guys.
very expensive. And I love blackberries as
Oh yeah.
well. And especially if you try and get organic raspberries, I mean, you're talking $6 for a little.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we have that's the biggest crop is the raspberries because that was here. So they're old, but the deer helped me prune them back last year.
They're good for something, huh?
But yeah, so right now it's really just this sawfly infestation. I mean, we have a Rainier cherry that didn't really produce this year, but there was also
Oh,
an ornamental cherry next to it. So we cut that down because it's actually in the garden, not the orchard. But we left the Rainier, and
yes.
that Rainier is decimated. Like it's totally skeletonized.
Oh,
All the
How,
leaves.
how many different stone fruit trees do you have?
Apple, Rainier cherry, Bing cherry, pie cherry, pear, plum,
Well,
peach.
the apple and
Oh, they're not stone. Yeah,
yeah, they're in the rosacea,
yeah,
so they get different diseases.
they
But
do. And they this year look kind of bad,
mm.
like the apples themselves.
the
Usually
fruit trees are
fungi.
hard because uh, it's really like you put a lot of investment in a fruit tree, and then it can be, there can be some environmental thing that you don't know until it's established. So the only thing I can recommend with fruit trees is having a diversity of options that you put in. Like you don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
You say, like for us, we have lots of diseases on the East Coast for fruit trees. So we have fire blight as the worst for
Mm,
palm fruit. So uh, that makes it hard for that. But then there's other things that do well here. Like we found pawpaws do great. The deer don't
oh,
eat pawpaws. There's a thing called a feijoa. It's from New Zealand and it's like a tropical green fruit.
Hmm.
It's also called pineapple guava, but it's an evergreen. It has a nice flower.
Hmm.
And the deer also don't eat that. So there's things that just do well. Pomegranates are doing well here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think you can even grow, there's hardy pomegranates from like Ukraine that you can grow in the
Hmm.
Northwest.
That's cool.
And do your fruit trees, like does your Rainier cherry have something around it? Anything, any other plants around it that for
It's in the middle of the garden.
oh, it's in the middle of the garden. Okay.
Was it
Sometimes
just that one that was targeted or all your cherries?
They were all targeted. It's just that one is like total sun, and apparently they
mhm.
like the sun.
The
And it's the
light.
smallest one. The sawflies lay their eggs in the sunny leaves.
Oh.
So the one general thing that you can apply, it's not a chemical, but it's a little annoying, is it's called it's a clay, kaolin clay. And you can do it also in fruit. Like we used to have issues with plum curculio, where our plum would do great, but then all the little fruit would abort because this thing would drill a little crescent in all of them and lay its egg.
Hmm.
Uh, it's like a very fine particulate porcelain, and they use it for they spray it on apples or you mix it with a little bit of water and you basically spray it on the leaves or on the fruit. It's just clay, so it's inert,
Hmm.
but it tends to bother flies,
Huh.
and they
Yeah.
don't like it very much.
I
So,
put I put some things in the chat, like Bevan
Yeah,
for
I see.
yeah, and then the second one is about specifically for sawflies or
Oh,
fruit tree specific. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Because I mean, what about diatomaceous earth? It seems that's kind of similar,
well, the problem with diatomaceous is as soon as it rains, it just
right?
washes off. So this stuff, it it tends to stick a little better.
Hmm.
So,
Is
um,
it a powdery spray?
yes, it's a
Okay.
it looks like
Because
it's a bit more
we actually
involved
have a
though. I think
little,
the
yeah.
commercial brand is called Surround, right?
yes, and then it looks like you have to get it to look like this. So we tried it before and we never
Oh.
got it to look really ugly like that. Like,
Well, yeah, because you need a like our powder spray is just too fine, because
mm,
I went, believe it or not, I sifted freaking ash from our burn pile and we used that, but you'd have to dump it on it basically and it does, it coats these little mucusy looking things.
mhm.
They're just ugh.
So I would the only problem with the Surround is kind of you have to have like a little hand pack sprayer, and you have to. They don't sell it in small bags. I think
Mm.
I have
25 pounds.
yeah
There's a
some bag for the rest of my life or something. Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, for that kind of stuff, I think it's as long as you spray it at the right time, it can be very effective. Um,
Well, I bet a good time to spray it is when the the pupae or whatever they are, form into the wasp, and before as they're wanting to lay their eggs on the tree. That would probably be a good time. But we also got some white paper and some sticky stuff you paint on it, and you hang that in the tree at the time the wasps emerge from the soil. And we also got and all this is all pretty inexpensive, which is good, but we got some beneficial nematodes, and we're
yeah.
going to apply those around the trees as these things transform into their little caterpillars and they drop into the ground. And
Yes.
then throughout the winter, you kind of rake it up every so often, just kind of move things around. And that way, hopefully, it exposes these hibernating sawflies to birds and other predators. So, I mean, we have this huge plan. I do have that documented.
That's great.
I mean, because I mean, it's so much, right? I mean,
Yeah.
timing. And this is second generation. So it's like they do it once, like around Mother's Day, and then they do it again in July. And so we totally missed it the first time. And that's why it's so bad. And that's why observation
Is the key.
is so important because catching it the first time and doing what we're doing now
Mm.
just would have made a huge difference in the amount.
We found that with a lot of people have problems with uh, what are they called? Squash bugs.
Oh, yeah.
And if you catch the eggs early, you get, even though they have like a second generation, it's so much less. But by that time, your pumpkins or whatever are so established that it's not going to really affect them.
Yeah. Well, what about, so potatoes was another, I've never done potatoes before. Potatoes typically do very well here. I had a couple bags of like small, white, purple, red, organic little potatoes that I let by accident develop, sprout. And so I cut those, I dried them, and I planted in two different spots in the garden, actually behind the cherry tree. And then I also planted, because I still had more left over in a big, like, oak barrel.
Uh-huh.
It's like
Yes.
this high. And what was interesting is in the oak barrel, I mean, they did actually quite well, but some of the plants just got yellow and died off. And so when I dug all those up, obviously the ones that lasted longer and then died off had bigger potatoes.
Hmm.
But the potatoes all looked good. There was nothing, I mean, some of them were, teeny where they died off too soon. But the ones against the fence in the garden, we have a vole problem.
Uh,
And also, when I was digging that out, there were these little, I don't know, actually, I should have taken a picture, but these little shiny brown, skinny bugs, insects, and the potatoes were destroyed. So I don't know if it was the vole,
Mm-hmm.
mice have that too.
well, the vole, you can kind of tell it'll look like no, it's gnawed at it. It won't eat the
That's
whole.
what it looked like. I mean, some of them, like half the potato is gone.
Yeah, that's more likely vole.
Well,
If
then now you know that it's better to plant potatoes in a container for your.
Yeah, I'm going to move those containers over to
Mhm.
where I currently have the potatoes. And
Yeah.
just and plus it was easier on my body.
Yes.
And it was
potatoes are
easier to
like another one of
build.
those finicky things. They're cool weather crops, so they don't like a lot of heat, but they do great in the fall or spring. And then there's different varieties of potatoes. So the typical ones that you get in the supermarket are typically long season tomatoes. So they need like 100 days or something
Mm.
to get a good crop. But you can get these early potatoes as well. Um,
Saw
and
that.
they're ready in like 70 days. So a lot depends on the variety. And then a lot depends on the soil as well. So um, if your soil is very rocky and tough, it can be very hard to harvest potatoes because
Right.
you have to essentially mine the
You
soil to
keep pulling
find.
up rocks.
Yeah, so there's this we found this technique called the root stout. Uh, she was just tired of digging for potatoes. So she found that if you just put potatoes on the soil, you don't bury them at all, and then you put like partially decomposed compost on top. Because there's all this like, oh, you have to have a hill and it's got to be 12 inches and whatever, and you keep on adding to the hill. She discovered that if you just put partially decomposed compost on top, that's 12 inches.
Ah.
Or
That she
even
could just,
straw bales.
yeah, she could just
Mm,
pull it back and there would be all the potatoes at soil level and they're
right.
easy to harvest. Uh,
Huh. Yeah, because everything I had read, what I was doing is I didn't really dig them in very, like in the pot. Let's talk
Mhm.
because that was easy, right? I
Mhm.
just put like that much dirt and then planted the little potatoes and then covered them up with that much dirt And then as soon as I saw something come up, I covered them up with that much dirt
Yeah.
until there was like this much dirt. And that's what I had read. And I wanted to do the straw,
Uh-huh.
but we have such a slug issue
Okay. Yeah.
here that that was they said, oh, the garden, the nursery nearby was like, that
No.
works great if you don't have a slug
Uh-huh.
problem. But we in the Pacific, we went out at 5 a.m. for like 2 weeks straight and got slugs,
Ah.
like with a bucket.
Oh,
I mean,
maybe you need,
hundreds.
yes, you probably need some ducks or something.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah.
we want duck poop too.
There you go. Because they'll
And we
eat
have
the slug.
dogs that would love to eat duck poop. I don't know. We actually did. I mean, the slugs have done really well. I think the bigger problem in the garden was the voles, and that's why even the tomato, one of the tomatoes was doing really poorly. And
Mhm.
I was like feeling around, and my hand went whoop, and there was like a big air hole where one of them dug a tunnel right at the root ball
Ugh.
tomato, and
Yeah, you
so
need vole traps.
oh, we got them. Got three different kinds.
Oh my
Have you
God.
caught any?
We caught one. And it was in the onions that was between the potatoes. So those were destroyed too. But we did
Oh,
get one, and then he murdered the second one because
your
he,
voles are like Dave's groundhogs.
oh yeah, oh yeah. No, and we have live traps. We didn't get any of those. But no, we have three different supposed like awesome traps. But the problem is in the garden where we had the cardboard down and then the dirt, they're just pretty low to they're really low to the surface. And these traps work best when you can like get something down in the dirt to catch them in their tunnel, but everything just falls in
Hmm.
because it's so close. So I think, thank you for that. I'm going to write this in my journal because last year I was like, oh, don't worry about the moles or voles. We didn't know what they were because they're popping up all over the yard.
Uh-huh.
And they're not in the garden. So next spring,
You know they're in the garden.
worry about the mole. I mean, if when we see them on the lawn, put the freaking traps in because maybe we'll get them before they go to the garden.
Yeah, I've heard so I haven't had too many vole issues except that when I had a garden at my work and they would gnaw the sweet potatoes.
Oh,
The um the thing with voles is that they uh I forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry.
you never had a problem.
Yeah.
I hear
I was
you.
gonna give a tip and then it went out of my head.
Well, they are rodents, so they don't
Offer
pass
cheese.
gas.
You can what?
They don't pass gas. So if you lace something with baking soda, have you heard this? This is
But then is the vole gonna actually eat it? So yeah, that's a whole nother thing if you have like a rodent issue.
desperation. Us like we've done this before and successfully that we've captured like a rat with we used to live behind a grocery store and
Ooh.
they we would have laced traps like cookie dough or something like that with lots of baking soda. I can't remember
Mm.
what exactly the formula was, but then you
Those
will
have
find
evolved so that
everywhere.
they don't burp. They
Oh,
just
interesting.
they just
Like burst.
explode.
Yeah.
Ex- Well, goodness.
But
Okay.
not humane, not a humane way, but yeah,
But at
that's
least you don't need pesticide or poison, or you just use baking soda. I'm not sure if that works with voles, but you could try it.
Oh,
The problem with voles is that just trapping one, like any rodent, there's going to be like at least a dozen more of these little critters everywhere. So, oh, I remember what the tip is now. I'd read that you can have a trap crop for them. There's certain things that they prefer.
oh,
So you could try growing it a little further away or something and attract them to that and just say that's sacrificial, but don't go after my potatoes.
I could do that. I mean, how easy would that be just to put some potatoes in the ground out?
Yeah, so I was gonna say, you know that you have so many potatoes that are chitting, right? That are starting to seed. Then the ones that you intentionally want to grow for yourself, you put in a bucket, but the ones that you want to trap crop the vole with, you can put wherever
Mhm.
you think the voles are.
I'd like it out of the garden though.
Yeah. Yes. So maybe out
But,
of the garden.
hmm. Should I plant potatoes now?
You can do it in the fall. Yeah,
And
definitely.
that,
I've
and
done
then
I
that
de
before.
One thing I'm very excited about is I asked my son to build another box and I'm planting garlic for the first time.
oh, that is exciting.
Yeah, so I actually got some hardneck and softneck from a local farmer who's been growing it there for like 30 years. So
Oh,
it's
wonderful.
acclimated. Yeah, I've watched YouTubes.
Yes, yes,
So
yes. And you can
I'm
you
gonna,
have that farmer to ask if you.
that's true. She's so busy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't, yeah, what a life. Ugh. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that.
The
Yeah,
great
but
thing with garlic is it's beneficial to other annual plants. So
Keeps
instead
out
of
the.
having a patch of garlic, you can plant it amongst your other crops.
Mhm.
see,
And
okay, this is where I hear two different things. I hear like I did a lot of like the complementary or companion
Mhm.
planting. And then with garlic, it's like garlic doesn't like to share. That's one thing I heard from the local nursery. So,
Mhm.
but then I also hear what you're saying because it's an alum
Mhm.
that, it's great at like keeping pests away and rodents away and stuff. So
so we haven't found that it really deters anything, but I've grown the combo that I always used to do is fava beans and garlic,
hmm,
and they would do great together. Uh, I'm not sure, maybe the nitrogen
I from the beans.
fix, yeah, I gave a little extra fix to the garlic, and we get like very large garlic bulbs. So,
Hmm,
um, yeah, I with other alliums, they can be picky, and then they get suppressed by everything else because they're slow growing.
hmm,
With garlic, I found that it generally prefers being around everything.
hmm.
So,
Well, I mean, I
I think
have a,
try it out. See which
yeah,
ones. At least
I
Dave knows
can.
knows fava beans works well, but maybe you find something else that it isn't. It doesn't work well with this, particular crop.
Yeah, I can actually try both because I have half a bed with my second planting of sweet peas. And I
Yeah.
have some lettuce in there I'm just finishing and some zinnias. And so I can easily just move the lettuce and plant or finish the lettuce and plant some garlic in October. It's
Uh-huh.
like the end of October here. Um, and then also do some in the bed. That would be interesting. Except I don't know how long the sweet peas will continue.
when is your first frost?
I mean, it's hard because we don't get it's like December. I mean, it could be November, like we could have snow in November, or we could not have anything really until February.
Yeah, with peas they're kind of weird. Like in the spring, they they prefer heat, but if you get them established, then they're remarkably hardy. Like they
Hmm.
can even take light frost sometimes. Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, it, if you don't get any frosts and you get them established, you might have them still in like November,
November.
December.
Yeah, I just cut down the first ones. They were just, yeah, and I have pole beans in another one. That trellis fell over. Pretty funny. It's like, whoop.
Key with the pole beans is determining whether you actually want to eat them sometimes because
Right?
they're stringy. A lot of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Garden journal. Pick pole beans, pick pole beans when
Or
they're really
another thing, Wilma, to make it fast is if you find the replay of this and you download the the video or I don't know if you can download the transcript too, but then you can like put the transcript in Chat GPT or something like that
Ah.
that will arrange all the things that you just said that kind of will. Normally I have a little AI device that pops up
I
here,
know,
but
but AI and their data centers are consuming so
I
much,
know, I know. Well, that's like the lazy way to.
taking it away from small farms.
I know we're totally battling that here as well. So I mean, Northern Virginia is where they want to come.
It's like
So
the data
it's the data
city,
center.
biggest one in the world or
Gonna
something.
destroy the farms. I mean, the food farms, not the data farms.
Oh, yes. We
Just
hear.
remember the Matrix.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's
Yeah.
that's my fear. Anyhow, I do have a question before you
Mhm.
run, because you talked about microgreens. I
Yes.
would love to grow microgreens like all year.
Yes.
And here's the biggest issue I've never understood with micro. How in the hell do you harvest them without just getting a lot of dirt?
You have to have them grow up to like a 3 inch. First of all, which one, right? Like we're harvesting basil, and sometimes the way that they're sown, the way that they're
Basil microgreens
micro
Yeah.
basil. We grow
for
lots of
eating?
different. Yes, we grow different
It's
microgreens.
like this tall, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you, I mean,
So that one's really hard if you don't flatten it. So there are lots of different, like we have a whole course on this on the
oh,
microgreens where we send you the seeds as well. But
oh,
if you are interested, but like shortcut of that is 10-20 tray and then another 10-20 tray. So sow your seeds on, we use soil because nutrient density, that's what we're thinking. Other people will use coconut coir, it takes forever to germinate in that sense. So we use soil, sow on a 10-20 tray, and then put another tray on top of it as a weight, and then just put
Speed
bricks.
up the germ for some reason for the microgreens we grow, it speeds up the germination dramatically.
And
So
kind of makes them tougher. So when you
yeah, I
lift,
bet, because they're like, let me out of here.
yeah,
yeah,
so when you lift up the tray, they kind of pop up surprisingly. And sometimes they will push the tray out that we've had trays. So sometimes it's not bricks, but other trays on
Hmm.
top of trays. And then we'll walk into the room and it'll fall down. And we'll have like a whole mess of the microgreens because the
you
radish,
put like 10 trays that are
yeah,
stacked or something.
the radish microgreens pushed off the top microgreen tray and it fell on the floor. That's how strong they get. And when they get that strong, then they separate from the soil really easily and it's kind of a clean cut.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's different, that kind of compaction. It's
Yeah,
ironic, but it's
interesting.
like a compaction that you require 2 days, 3 days on your microgreens initially pays off and like the soil is compacted enough that it pushes out
The
the
speed is much faster too. We now do it's like most of our microgreens are a week to a week and a half. So we
Hmm.
go from
Wow.
seed to full harvest on a tray in a week and a half.
Yeah, and I have a little, I mean, you can see here, and I'll send you I have a whole page on microgreens
Hmm.
here on
Yeah,
our,
because, I'm always wary of like, yeah, of bond. It's like I should be able to just use seeds, right? Like,
yeah, so you can totally use your own seed from your pantry or seeds that you harvested. This is what I mean by it pushes the tray up.
oh, interesting.
These are broccoli microgreens, but then,
On the right, you can see like after a week,
yeah, and then
a
on the
lot of
right,
microgreens.
Wow.
lots of microgreens. And then we sell them to local farms. And then you'll see this is a video of what it looks like in our basement. So if you're interested in
In
that,
your
and
basement. So with the lights and
yes, and how we keep them and grow them and things like that.
okay.
Yeah, you can get we use a LED grow light. I think it's like $50 or something, and it has enough light for 4 trays at a time.
Mm.
So
Well, lights, that's something I introduced to the greenhouse later, which is why everything was so leggy. So I know next time when I start seeds to start lights
Lower down.
low. And also I'm going to put in a fan because
It's
too hot.
hot there.
that was
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was going in there and flicking them around and trying to, but now I have just a little portable fan that we use in the house. So yeah.
We also used to get, well, sometimes get fungus gnats, and then they can reproduce really quickly and they're really annoying. We found the yellow sticky traps are very
You'll
effective.
see it in that video, yellow sticky traps, and we have zappers, fly zappers.
Yeah. Oh, the greenhouse was horrible. I
It's
mean, I
hard.
tried. I went in there, I was like burning sage and other stuff in there,
Yeah, yeah.
closed it up. And then it's like they just kind of knock out for a little while and then come right back with vengeance. So, yeah, I should, yeah, that journal. Okay, hold me accountable to that
Yes,
journal. And I'll put some updated pictures. Yeah,
yes.
but this was really fun.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on this call. It's always more fun with somebody actually on the call.
Yeah. I know what it's like to try, I hold Zooms once a month for my community.
Uh-huh.
It kind of sucks when nobody shows up.
But then you know what? You just like give your own show and then have it available there for
Yeah,
whatever.
I easily do that.
Yes. Well, thank you,
All
Wilma.
right.
It was a joy to speak to you and learn about your garden. We'll see
Great
you
to catch
next
up.
month, or hopefully you will be observing more this month, right?
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.